In the busy city of Pasai, a seemingly ordinary family's life takes a chilling turn as they grapple with a relentless and mysterious curse that defies explanation. A child's fever, a baffling dry patch on their back, and a series of eerie events propel them into a nightmarish journey into the supernatural. Join us on a bone-chilling expedition into the unexplained as we uncover the horrifying secrets lurking beneath the surface. Brace yourselves for a tale that will send shivers down your spine and make you question the boundaries of reality and the unknown. Welcome to Eerie Encounters and Hauntings. We are thrilled to have you join us for 2 new spine-tingling tales of the paranormal each week, stories that will make you shiver with fear and keep you on the edge of your seat. From haunted houses to possessed objects, we have the most bone-chilling tales of the supernatural. Get ready for a terrifying journey into the unknown with our bone-chilling episodes featuring blood-curdling stories that will send shivers down your spine. So hit that like button, share the horror with your friends, and subscribe to our channel. This story will make shiver and fright. This is entitled Haunted by a Mysterious Curse, Kai's Terrifying Journey. This was shared by Leilani, who's from the Philippines. Kai and her family lived in a quiet house in Pasay 3 years ago, thanks to her kind mother-in-law. Their youngest child, who was only 5 years old, got a strange fever. They thought it was just a fever at first, so they gave their child a drug called tempura. At first, it helped, and the heat went away. But something odd took place. Their child's body was wet with sweat, but the back was still dry. It seemed like the fever stayed away from that area. This was strange, and Kai and her family couldn't figure out why. It made them feel uncomfortable. To make their child sweat all over, they massaged them, turned off the fans, and put blankets over them. It didn't work. Since the child wasn't hurt, they said it was the weather and the cough. As the days went by, the fever came back every 3 days. Kai didn't think it was a bigger problem because her kids were used to getting fevers when they coughed. The heat would go away for a while after she gave their child tempura and wiped them down with a damp cloth. It came back every night, though, and the child's back stayed dry, as if it were following a strange routine. Kai's oldest child kept seeing butterflies inside their small house during these strange days. They thought it was a message from Kai's late brother or sister, who died in 2015. It was especially scary because it was almost the date of their sibling's birthday. Kai thought it was a good sign, but she couldn't shake the feeling that something more evil was going on. Because Kai and her husband had been sick with a fever for 5 days, they chose to see a traditional healer called a albularyo. As part of an old Filipino tradition called a patawas, they wanted to pray and do practices to heal illnesses that were thought to have supernatural causes. Kai believed in this type of treatment, but her husband didn't trust it. The albularyo didn't know that their child had been in pain for 5 days. "Your child has had a fever for 5 days, the doctor asked right away. "What made you bring them now?" Kai's husband was shocked and felt bad that he hadn't asked for help sooner. Even though the healer was shocked, the ritual started. There were prayers, spells, and the soft glow of lights in the room. The healer melted candle wax into a bowl of water, which made the room feel creepy. A scary truth came out as the albularyo checked out the child. "Your child's back isn't sweating because something has been clinging to their back for 5 days." Kai and her husband were shocked when they learned that their child had been carrying an unseen weight. As the routine went on, to their surprise, their child's fever went away, and their back started to sweat. The nightmare was over, and they now knew what was wrong with their child. Even so, Kai couldn't help but wonder who or what had been holding on to her child for those 5 scary days. Kai couldn't get rid of the questions that kept coming up because of what had happened. She did a lot of study to try to figure out what was going on. She read books, talked to experts, and looked into ghost stories and stories about belongings. It got worse as she learned more about it. She was deep in her research one night when she came across a story that gave her chills. It was a story from a faraway town about a child with a fever that wouldn't go away, a dry back, and a scary presence. There was an old curse in the story about a bad ghost that stole the life force of living things. Fearful and interested, Kai started to put the pieces together. Could her family have been stricken with this curse, which went beyond space and time to hurt them? She couldn't stop thinking about how scary it was, and she knew she had to look into it more. Kai set out on a trip to the remote village where the scary story had come from, determined to find the truth. It was hard to tell the difference between reality and the unknown when she went into a place where the magical and the everyday mixed. When she got there, she met locals who were scared to talk about the curse. They told each other stories about other children who had been hurt by the same evil force as her own. The people in the village told scary and sad stories that made Kai's skin crawl. She found a strange shaman on her quest who said he knew where the curse came from. The magician told the story of the curse in a dark hut decorated with old symbols. A bad witch from a long time ago used dark powers to try to live forever by taking the life force from children. The curse came about because of this evil, and it still targets minds that are weak. Kai was scared when he asked the healer how to break the curse. The answer was scary, a ceremony, an offering, and a meeting with the sorcerer's angry spirit. Kai knew she couldn't do anything else. She went on a scary journey with the shaman into the heart of darkness, where the line between the living and the dead was fuzzy and the curse's evil hung over her like a scary ghost. The rite was an odyssey straight out of a nightmare, a dance with forces that were hard to understand. When Kai and the healer went into the supernatural, time seemed to stop and the very fabric of reality began to shake. The sacrifice was made, and the curse was faced. Its angry spirit was felt as a frightening presence. During the most important fight, the shaman chanted old spells and used powers that no one could understand. When Kai faced the sorcerer's angry spirit, her heart was racing with fear and determination. It was a battle that went beyond the physical and the spiritual. It was a battle for the survival of her family. As the ritual hit its peak, a blinding light burst forth, driving away the curse's evil spirit and finally freeing Kai's family from its terrible hold. The shaman's powers had won, and Kai's never-ending search for solutions had paid off. After breaking the curse, Kai went back to her family, but her trip into the supernatural had changed her forever. For years, they had been living a nightmare. Now it was over, and their lives could start over. But Kai would always dream about those scary days in Pasai, with the never-ending fever, the mysterious dry patch, and the evil spirit that had clung to her child's back. In the deepest parts of the unknown, she had gone into battle with the evil forces that lived in the shadows and come out on top. Even now, Kai isn't sure if the butterflies were really a message from her late brother or sister, or if they were a sign of something much worse. The scars from those scary days still haunt her, a reminder of the unexplainable and the impossible. The house that had once been a safe place to be now had a bad influence that was hard to understand. As the years went by, Kai could not get over the mystery that had engulfed her family. She did a lot of study and looked into strange things to find answers to the things that were keeping her up at night. But there are some secrets that should stay hidden in the supernatural, where the lines between reality and the beyond are fuzzy. If we reveal them, we let the unthinkable into our lives. Because of this, Kai and her family's story will always be remembered as one of the mysterious. It is a story that gives people chills. This is a scary warning that the scariest horrors are sometimes the ones that can't be explained and are waiting in the shadows to grab their next innocent victim. When it's all over, Kai's scary journey is a stark warning that some mysteries are better left alone and that the supernatural world can creep into our lives with scary results. Once the curse is gone, it leaves scars that time can't heal, a scary reminder of the unknown forces that live in the dark. Even though Kai's family is happy about the new piece, the story of their nightmare ordeal goes on. It is a scary story that will always be in the realm of the unexplainable. If this video left you spellbound, dive deeper into the world of chilling tales by joining our channel, Eerie Encounters and Hauntings. Access a treasure trove of bone-chilling stories waiting for you with new episodes 2 times a week. Spread the fear among your friends and family who crave a good scare and give them goosebumps. We'd love to hear your spine-tingling experiences as well, so don't hesitate to share them in the comments. You can also send us your story so we can feature it in one of our future episodes. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Stay scared. Disclaimer: this video is for entertainment purposes only. The stories depicted in this video are shared by people who believe they are true, but they have not been verified. Any resemblance to real people or events is purely coincidental. The views and opinions expressed in this video are those of the people who shared the stories and do not necessarily reflect the views of YouTube, Google, or Facebook. The channel does not endorse the views expressed in this video. This video is not intended to be used as evidence of any supernatural or paranormal activity. If you are experiencing paranormal activity, please contact a qualified professional.